Hi friends, how's your night going? Hopefully you've had a restful evening. I know I had a really fun evening. I'm popping on a little bit later than normal. I'm just gonna adjust my camera a little bit. There we go. I'm popping on later than normal because I had the pleasure of having my two adorable little nephews come over for the evening. And so my family and I entertained and played with Mr. Gabriel and Mr. Aaron, ages 3 and 1. And it's so fun to watch them at that age and to interact with them and to just soak up their littleness and just watch how much joy they have. I loved that when my boys were little too, and my boys are getting so big. It's just really nice to be able to cuddle the little guys again. So that's really fun. Thank you, AJ and Veronica, for letting me watch your babies. So hopefully you guys had a great day, and we'll see if anybody joins me live. It might be past everybody's bedtime. I am not up this late very often during the school year. That is to say, up past 9 o'clock, because I get up really early. But in the summer, I like to stay up and read. Yes, folks, that is my guilty pleasure. I like to stay up late and read. And I think sometimes my husband wishes that that was not the case. But he loves me, and he still lets me buy tons of books. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Miss Barbie L. Dwixom, if you are still watching, thank you for popping on. It is so sweet for you to do that. Tonight I'm going to talk about, just for a few minutes, I'm going to talk about a big project or a big goal. What I mean by that is whenever you have a big dream or a big goal or a big project ahead of you, do you ever find that you suffer or struggle at the beginning getting started? Or is it just me? Am I the only one that struggles with getting started? Once I'm in it and have gotten a few steps done, it seems like things kind of get going, and I'm okay, and the momentum kind of starts carrying me through the project. But in the beginning, getting started is hard for me, even if it's something I really want to do. So for example, I think yesterday I mentioned I'm getting ready to create some new tools, and I'm wanting to write some new lessons and some new curriculum for my courses. And for those of you who don't know, because I teach an elective class and it is a CTE class, they don't just hand me a textbook. They don't hand me any curriculum. I have to write my own lessons and find or write my own curriculum, which is really fun, but it's also really hard sometimes and really scary. So as I get ready to go back to school, I want to try some new things this year. I learned some really great new strategies this summer that I want to build into that. So it's kind of a new project, right? Well, there's that old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? Not that I want to go out and eat an elephant, but the older I get, the more I am learning that when I have one of those really big projects to tackle, the motto that's really helping me, especially with being a new teacher, this is just gold. I don't know if you guys are ready for this, and maybe some of you already know this and you already do this and you're good to go, and you're like, Tia, You are coming to the train late. So I wish I knew where I heard this saying, but I think it's pretty universal when we're talking about project management, and that is plan the work. So plan it out step by step, and then work your plan. Plan the work and work your plan. So even if it's a long-term project, even if it's something that I think might take me a year, 12 months to do, the way that I can beat that procrastination or the jitters of trying to get started is by laying out the end goal, reverse engineering it. So thinking about, okay, here's my end goal. Here's all the things that need to happen to get to that end goal. All right, now let's start writing them down. For me, it helps if I start at the end and work backwards. For you, it might make more sense to start at the beginning, visualize your end goal, and then come back to the beginning and plan it out that way. Even, I don't know if you guys know the term or the idea of mind mapping, but even mind mapping can really help me when I'm just super stuck and I have this big idea or this big new lesson I want to try, but I don't even know where to start, whether that's where do I start researching, where do I start adding in techniques, where do I even start building the lesson plan. Okay, so I mind map. And that just means I take a piece of paper. You can find tons of computer software to do this online and offline. There's all kinds of cool software that will let you mind map. There's even mind map apps for your phone, your smartphone. But basically a mind map is you put your main idea or your project in the middle. Maybe draw a little cloud around it or a heart or a box. And then just start writing down or mapping out all the things that you know you're going to need to do, even if they're not necessarily in order at first. Like, let's say okay, I want to remodel my bathroom. Down the road at some point, I'm going to need to order a new toilet. Put that on your map someplace, anywhere, just highlight it. And then, I'm going to need to shop for new light fixtures or new sink fixtures or a new vanity cabinet or new flooring. Like, just write it all down. Get it all out of your head so that you don't have to manage so many missing or so many moving parts. Get it all down. Okay, so get that mind map or however you take notes, that whatever makes the most sense to your brain, get it down someplace. For me, I'm old school, so I like to write things down. I like to get them down on paper or in a blank notebook or a journal, whatever. Just get it down someplace. Put it on a chalkboard. I don't know. Whatever works. And then once you have as much of the details or as much of the pieces that you can, once you get that all down, then you can go back and either reverse engineer it and work backwards of the steps you need to take to get to your final project completion, or just take your mind map and then start sort of process of ordering. Like we learned in school, ordering pairs, right? You know how to do it. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but just getting it on paper, seeing it, and then starting to outline step 1, step 2, step 3, until all the steps are there and they all lead up to completion. There might be 20 steps, I don't know. There might be 5 steps to your project completion. Then all you have to do is work your plan. Plan the work, and then work your plan until it's done. For me, this has been one of the most helpful tools to tackling some really big projects and tasks that I have had in the last 2 years. One of them was getting my teaching certificate. I knew the end goal was teaching certificate. And it was really big. It was a really big thing, and it felt like a huge elephant, and I just didn't even know where to start. Thankfully, I had some great mentors and people in my corner that knew the steps or knew who to, send me to or connect me with. And so I had that going for me, but I also had to just sit down and okay, here are all the things that I know I need to do to get to my teaching certificate. I need to apply for this. I need to file this with the state. I need to go to the Idaho State Police and get my fingerprints, and I need to run this errand. I need to sign up for these classes. I need to enroll in this program. I need to, start creating a teacher resume and lining up the interviews. And it was a process, and I was super scared at first, and I didn't know where to start. And even when I did know where to start, I was still feeling really overwhelmed with how to get from point A to point Z. But I planned it all out. I got it all out of my head so that my brain didn't have to carry so much around. And then I just worked the plan. And the plan turned out really well. I planned it, the work, and I worked the plan. And I have begun to use this technique in lots of other areas, because the older I get, the less I can keep straight in my brain. I'm going to be really honest with you. Some days, just getting it all done at home, especially in the summer. Some days that in itself is the plan. That's the only plan. And I'm just going to work that plan. Anyway, if you have any thoughts or contributions to this concept, definitely drop me a line in the comments. I love reading your comments. I'm going to sign off. I am sending you grace and peace and sunshine, even though it's super late and past my bedtime. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.